didn't Cipriani say that your personal trainer threatened to cut his throat and his wife's throat?
He did. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
He said that's what he told him if he didn't bring the money back to that hotel room, that's what was going to happen.
Right.
So what happened? He got scared. He called the police, and then he left the country.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's gone. Well, I'm starting to get scared now because pretty soon they're going to know that Junior DeLuca is really Owen Hanson. It's not going to be too long. So now I'm getting paranoid. I'm like, fuck it, I'm out of here. But for the meantime, Sean's like, don't worry, bro, we're going to get the $700 back. Don't worry. He says, we got corrupt attorneys here. We'll get it back. We'll pay a couple thousand to a barrister. We'll get it back. Listen, I don't care what it is. I want to get something back of that $700,000 because remember, anything helps. So I said, fuck it, hire the attorney, whatever. We hire this attorney. His name's Michael Croak. It's a very famous attorney that's known for working in organized crime and playing the system. I fly back to America. I'm paranoid. I'm calling this guy. I'm like, hey, dude, what the fuck? He's like, don't worry, I'm going to pay you back. Don't worry, I'll help you. I'll get it back. He starts literally putting $1,000 into my checking account.
$1,000.
$1,000
out of $2.5 million. Okay.
He puts it in like 3 times, right?
All right. So he's just playing with you.
Just playing with me at this point. Right. Now I'm just getting my feelings, right? You started to fuck with my emotions here, right? You think I'm some sucker. And I said, okay, no problem. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, we got to get the fucking money. We got to get that money, and I got money in Australia in the house still. I'm like, fuck, I got to figure out how I'm going to get the money out. So this crooked attorney comes and he says, listen, mate, we got no problem. We're going to get the money back. He says, but we got to come up with a story. And that story is what I'm going to tell the authorities where it came from. That's where the story gets pretty fucking interesting, Vlad. He comes up with a story. He's got a concert promoter from ZZ Top that handles all ZZ Top, Fleetwood Mac. And this concert promoter comes forward and tells this crooked lawyer that I'll come forward, but I need a couple $100,000. So now the attorney comes back to me and says, listen, I got the guy that's going to take the fall. He says he just wants a couple $100,000. I'm going to take $100,000 and the rest for you, right? Okay. I'm thinking, listen, so I'm losing this money,
right,
but
you're losing $300,000.
I'm getting $400, right?
$400,
but
so
they're making it sound like it's going to be a walk in the park.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, whatever we got to do it. So this concert promoter goes in, sits down in Australia in front of the police and gives an interview saying that $700,000 was a hard money loan given to me from an American investor named Owen Hanson. Owen Hanson gave the money.
Oh, he mentions your real name.
He mentions my real name, but I'll tell you why. He goes by Junior, but his name's Owen Hanson. So that covers, they already know that my name's Junior.
Oh.
So he goes by Junior, but his name's Owen Hanson. So they're thinking I'm Owen Hanson Jr. So we think. Keep in mind, though, when Robin Hood tipped off the police in Australia, all of a sudden, I have a wiretap on me. My attorney has a wiretap on me. Andrew McManus, this concert promoter, all has the government over there is nuts. They can do wiretaps in your office, in your law office, in your car, in your apartment, anywhere. We don't know this at the time. So this is where it gets interesting. So the whole time we're communicating, they're listening to us. So they're asking him questions when they already know the answers because this is all made up. So this concert promoter is saying, Andrew McManus, I'm Andrew McManus. I had ZZ Top and Fleetwood Mac come to Australia for a concert. I had Owen Hanson, he was a silent investor, and he paid ZZ Top's manager in the US as a down payment for them to come to Australia. So we literally saying we gave the money to ZZ Top's manager, and that was the down payment to pay the band. Mm-hmm. Guess what? It was a lie, right? We didn't do any of that.
Right.
So now they need to hear from me because they've already heard from this guy. So what does this lawyer tell me to do? He tells me that I need to go speak to the authorities in Beverly Hills Police Station, and they're going to call at the time it was Skype. They're going to have a Skype call with Australian authorities, and I'm going to give my story. I said, no, you're out of your fucking mind. I ain't going to no police station. I said, you're out of your fucking mind. We do not speak to the police in America. I said, it ain't happening. He says, mate, it's not a U.S. matter. And this is where I go, it doesn't matter. Like, we can't do this because you're exposing ourselves now. Like, I'd rather just take this as a loss. He says, mate, it's easy. We're getting this fucking money back. He says, the guy won an Academy Award. He sold him the story. They believe him. I'm like, okay. He convinced me. This is my attorney. I'm supposed to take legal advice from this guy, right? He convinced me that it's not a U.S. matter. So guess what? I get to the Beverly Hills Police Department. I present my ID. And sure enough, the Beverly Hills Department calls the Australian authorities. And this is when I felt relieved because the Beverly Hills police officer says, this is not a U.S. matter. I don't need to be here. He left. So now it's just me on the Skype call with Australian authority. I already know the story. I'm telling the same story this guy just told. But they start questioning me because, listen, they've already listened to our wiretaps. They already know. So they say, is this Junior DeLuca? I said, yeah, I go by Owen. My nickname's Junior. I'm telling him the story. He's like, can you tell us about the $700,000? And I told him, yeah, I invested. I gave it to ZZ Top's manager. They gave me the manager's name so I could tell him. Sure enough, I had the name of the ZZ Top's manager. They're confirming it. So how did you give him the money? I said, I gave him cash. And how are you going to get paid back? I was supposed to get paid back cash plus interest on the money in Australia from Mr. Andrew McManus. Oh, is that why we got this suitcase of $700,000? I said, yeah, my trainer was taking it to his place, and that was to invest in this clinic that we were going to open up. So it was just all bullshit. So after that call, they called me and they're like, dude, we did it. We're going to get it back. It's over. We're going to win. We're going to get the money back. Everyone's happy. Sure enough, that didn't happen. We keeps getting dragged out, like pushed back. I'm like, hey, dude, like, see this money. What's going on, man? You made it sound like we're going to get it back. He's like, we're almost there, mate. This whole time they're watching. They're watching us. So now I'm in the U.S. and now El Jefe from the cartel is saying, hey, I need to get some money. This is, a couple weeks later. I need some money. Like, what's going on?
Because you haven't told him any of this.
I haven't told him. I'm not going to tell him. You're not going to tell a guy on an encrypted phone that you've never met, that works for the cartel, that you lost his money.
$2.5 million.
Yeah. No, 3.2.
No, 3.2 million. Yeah, 3.2 million.
So Vlad, I'm like, okay, the only way I'm going to survive this is I have to meet this guy in person. If I can look at him in the eye, I'm going to tell him the truth, obviously.
El Jefe.
Yeah, I got to.
Okay.
So I said, hey, about that, I said, I need to speak to you. He says, well, you got to come to Mexico because I'm not allowed in the U.S. I was like, okay, fair enough. Where do you want me to meet? He says, I'll fly into the Tijuana airport, he said, where he's coming from, which I'll never say. He says, I'll be there with my sicarios. It was 1 p.m. my appointment.
Sicarios are assassins, by the way.
Sicarios are assassins
so everyone knows.
For the cartel. So I fucking laugh about it now, but this was the scariest day of my life. I literally fucking walk over that same bridge I used to go to for the steroids, but now I'm in Tijuana meeting the cartel. 1 p.m., I'm at the McDonald's where he told me to meet, and exactly at 1 p.m. sharp, a black Suburban, bulletproof, pulls up, windows roll down, the glass is like that thick, and they said, Wedo, get in the car. And I was like, okay, this is it. Like, get in the car, I'm in this black Suburban, the driver's got a holster here with a fucking 9mm. I'm like, okay, there's one there. I'm just scoping the area. I turn around, and there's 2 Sicarios behind me with AK-47s and bulletproof jackets. I'm like, oh, fuck. This is it. They're going to just fucking pop me, take me, and I'll disappear in Mexico in the bottom of fucking some riverbed, right? Sure enough, we pull down. We're going southbound. We get on the toll road, and another bulletproof car pulls up right behind us, another one. So now there's 3 of us. This motorcade. It's like an entourage, right? But I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, where are we going? We go to this town called Puerto Nuevo, which is a lobster town right outside of Rosarito. And we pull into this famous restaurant. I'm talking like, it's called Puerto Nuevo No. 1. It's the original one. And it's usually always packed. This guy had the whole restaurant shut down. It was a Monday. We get in the restaurant, and I notice there's one waiter and there's one lady making tortillas. He's already sitting at the desk, it's at this table, not a desk. He's got 3 Sicarios on each side, on his side, and then I sit down at the table and I'm looking at him, and I got the 2 Sicarios that were in the back of the Suburban behind me. And Vlad, I just told him the truth. I said, remember the 1.5? Remember I gave you the $1 million over there in the U.S.? I said, that was the same guy. He did it right away. I said, then he wanted 2.5 and he lost it. And the whole time he looked at me, he goes, Wedo, I know. He already knew. You know how he knew? Because there was already newspaper articles about the money being picked off. So he knew that there was something that happened. And he looked at me, he says, Wedo, you know how we handle things in Mexico? The famous saying, plato or plomo. You know, it's either you pay me or you get, plomo means lead, which is the bullet of a gun. And he says, but good news, Wedo, I'm not going to kill you today. He goes, you don't owe me $3.2 million. He says, I'm charging you interest. You owe me now $4 million. And he says, you now work for the cartel. And right there, Vlad, I was so happy I was alive, right? I knew those 2 Sicarios behind me weren't going to shoot me that day. And people were like, wow. I was like, dude, if I didn't go into that meeting, guess what? He would have had me whacked.